Finally, the JOAO FELIX transfer is definitely on. We are talking about the JOAO FELIX transfer. The JOAO FELIX transfer that is definitely one of Arsenal's favorite transfers, and that is what we are definitely going to be talking about today. And the goal machine himself has definitely talked about this. Hello everyone and thank you for watching us today. And make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on anything Arsenal Diehards has to bring to you. As long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, we're definitely dedicated to bringing to you the latest right here at Arsenal Diehards. And we can tell you and we can confirm to you that this is a transfer that will be happening very soon, and everything is set for this transfer. If you're interested about this, and also we'll be talking a little bit about the World Cup in this show, about what's happening in the World Cup, who is going, who is leaving, who is still in the World Cup, things like that. Anyway, that's not what is the main thing. The main thing is just none other than the one and only JOAO FELIX. JOAO FELIX, who is an Atletico Madrid football player who's been playing for Atletico Madrid for some time, and he had differences with the current manager of Atletico Madrid. Otherwise, before he was considered as not for sale, strictly not for sale. But the fact that he had differences with Diego Simeone and he could not be given in quite a lot of gameplay that he didn't, gameplay time that he didn't. He was not. He was definitely not happy about this, and this was quite sad. Otherwise, it went on quite bad. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best for this gentleman because when you look on how things definitely went, I think it was not the best for him at Atletico Madrid. Even in the first place, it was not good for him to be at Atletico Madrid. Many people thought it wasn't the best thing to do for him to go to Atletico Madrid. But the fact that he went there, there's nothing that could have been stopped, nothing that could have been stopped. And now he's looking for a transfer after something that did not work out. It definitely didn't work out at Atletico Madrid. Though he tried his level best, he scored goals, he scored as many goals as he wanted. But still, things didn't go on as planned. So let us know what you think about this transfer and what you think Arsenal is going to be, whether Arsenal should go in for this young lad. You think Arsenal should go in for this gentleman, or it's going to be another failed attempt? Otherwise, make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything that Arsenal Diehards has to bring to you as we talk about the JOAO FELIX transfer right here. We are talking about the JOAO FELIX transfer. Let's first get deep into who JOAO FELIX is. For those of you who do not know exactly who this young gentleman is, you will remember that JOAO FELIX is a Portuguese professional football player who plays as a forward for La Liga club Atletico Madrid and the Portugal national team. He is known for his versatility, finishing, creativity, and dribbling skills that are definitely enormous. And he can also play as a winger or as an attacking midfielder. So this young gentleman is definitely one that is on the market right about now. Still young. He was born in 1999, and that makes him 23 years old. He's 23 years old, and his nationality is a Portuguese. He's from Portugal. And he's been at Atletico Madrid since the 3rd of July 2019. And he's a very great football player, very wonderful football player. So let's dig deep into this. So it will be remembered that Arsenal have been trying their level best. Arsenal have been trying their level best to make sure they can sign a young gentleman like him, a good forward like him. As Arsenal is already in the first position, it will be Arsenal is in the first position, and it has been trying to keep the first position for some time. But this will not come true if a reinforcement is not done. Then Arsenal needs to be even much bigger. And those were the words of the current manager, the current coach, that is none other than Mikel Arteta, who definitely wants to defend his position. He wants to be in the number one position. With Joao Felix being it there, that will definitely mean a lot. That will mean quite a lot with Joao Felix in there. And let's we need to know your opinion about Joao Felix joining Arsenal. Just make it a point, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and please, you can let us know whether you think he's going to be a wonderful signing or whether you think he's not going to be a good signing. Let us know what definitely you think. Do you think he's going to be a good signing or no? The top paper that the technical director of Arsenal, Mr. Edu Gaspar, made contact with the Portuguese international and also his agent, George Mendes, about the transfer, and things are definitely quite good. We can still say that things are still moving on quite well, as the coach himself, Mikel Arteta, is more than interested in signing this gentleman. If he signs this gentleman, it will be quite great, with Arsenal trying to sign two football players, and that is Joao Felix and also the one and only Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez is also on this one, plus Joao Felix. So we can let's wait and see whether Arsenal will definitely get one of them. It could be Joao Felix, it could be Lautaro Martinez, but not forgetting that there is yet another football player that has been linked to the club, and things have been going on quite well for the club for these three: Cody Gakpo, then Joao Felix, and Lautaro Martinez being linked to Arsenal. We definitely think possibly there will be one that Arsenal will have to get, and we think Arsenal could end up getting Joao Felix because he is the better alternative. Joao Felix is the better alternative. The Atletico Madrid football player, we think, is the better alternative. Let us know what you think about this. And yesterday, there was quite a bit of controversy in a game that definitely happened yesterday. That was a big game that happened yesterday. Actually, big games in the World Cup. Let's go a little bit in the World Cup. Let's go a bit in the World Cup. So, in the World Cup, actually, it will be remembered that there is quite a lot that has been happening in the World Cup. And yesterday there were four matches, and actually two. Our main focus was definitely on two. Our Thomas Partey and the one and only young football player Mohamed Kudus, who's also linked to Arsenal. Mohamed Kudus, who played quite well, and also the one and only this young lad. What's his name? This young lad. Mohamed Kudus, then Thomas Partey. They all played very well. They all played well, but Ghana didn't go through. Ghana was beaten terribly. Ghana was beaten terribly, and that was quite sad for Ghana, but they were beaten terribly with the fact that Andrew Ayew missed a penalty. And that put Ghana down, with Ghana making it was quite low at that point in time. Making a recovery was quite hard for them. After that penalty, even the mode of playing went down. They were discouraged, and they were beaten. That was 2 goals in 6 minutes. 2 goals in 6 minutes, and Uruguay thought possibly after beating them 2 goals they had qualified, but it was not the fact. It was nothing near the truth. After Uruguay beating Ghana 2-0, Ghana Ghana definitely left, and then Uruguay had big hopes that Portugal would definitely beat South Korea, and that was not the case. South Korea had to beat Portugal. That was a 2-1. Then Portugal came in the first position, then South Korea went in the second position, and then Uruguay being in the third and also in the fourth position. There was none other than Ghana. We need to see more about the World Cup, as people have been asking me things about the World Cup. Abu, tell us about the World Cup, and I've said it's okay. I will give you the latest that is coming in the World Cup, and also do not forget that I'm going to be telling you at the group stages, and also who has qualified and things like that. So with the World Cup, there's quite a lot of drama that is happening in the World Cup. A lot of drama happening in the World Cup, and we definitely think it's going to be quite competitive. It's going to be a competitive one. And let's start with Portugal. Should we start with Portugal? Portugal is in Group F, not so. In Portugal, it's only Portugal that Portugal and South Korea are the ones that definitely qualified with 6 points from Portugal and 4 points from South Korea. Then Uruguay didn't go through. Then Ghana also didn't go through, and that was Group H. And let's move down. And when you go to France, to Group D, there was the clubs that qualified with France and Australia. Australia and France are the two clubs that qualified with 6 points, then 3 points. Then Tunisia didn't qualify for the round of 16, and then Denmark also was beaten. And when we get to yet another group, let's say Group E. In Group E, it's quite amazing, but Japan is the one that went through, and Spain. Japan had 6 points, and Spain has 4 points, whereas Germany was disqualified. Germany didn't go through despite the win. Germany didn't go through, and that was 4 points for Germany, and Costa Rica had 3 points, and that was yet another one. And looking also at Group F, Morocco passed through, and also Croatia also passed through with each 7 points, and then 5 points. 7 points for Morocco and Croatia for 5 points. Then looking at Belgium, didn't go through, and Canada also did not manage to go through. And then we can also look at group. Which group is that? One that has is this Group G? Yeah, Group G. Has Argentina. Argentina definitely passed through with 6 points. Then Poland with 4 points also passed through. And then Mexico was disqualified, not disqualified, but it couldn't make it. And then Saudi Arabia also did not make it. Then going to yet another group, we need to see what happened in Group A. Group A definitely had Netherlands qualified with 7 points, then Senegal qualifying with 6 points. Ecuador was not, it was beaten, it didn't qualify. Then Qatar was the first national team that was disqualified, despite the fact that it was home. It didn't go anywhere. That was Qatar, was Rubisha football. Anyway, let's see yet another one. We are looking at England in Group D. We're looking at England that definitely went through, where Bukayo Saka, the one and only Bukayo Saka, is. And then also it will be remembered that USA also passed through. Then that definitely means that Iran was left out, and then Wales was also left out. So we also need to see which games are on today. Possibly we are on the round of 16. At the Khalifa International Stadium. The Netherlands is going to be playing United States. That is today, if I'm not mistaken. Exactly, it's today. The Netherlands is going to be playing United States. Then in the round of 16 still, Argentina is going to be playing Australia. and that is also today. And we will be seeing who goes and who remains. And otherwise, that is the World Cup section. That is all I had for you for the World Cup section. And right now, if you have any questions, you can let us know. But let's dig much deeper into the Joao Felix transfer. We think is going to be a good one. We think it's going to be quite a good transfer. If Joao Felix comes to Arsenal, it will be quite great. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one because Joao Felix will fit in quite well. Still very young, 23 years. You could possibly think he's around 25, 26 by the experience he has. He's played with very many clubs. He's played against very many big clubs. He's a very experienced football player, and that is one of the reasons as to why people think he's a bit older than he is. He's just 23 years, still very experienced and still young. So let us know what you think about this transfer. I personally think, my personal opinion, I think Joao Felix will definitely fit in quite well. I think Joao Felix will definitely fit in much better. Joao Felix will fit in very, very well. What do you think about the transfer? Let us know. We're talking about the Joao Felix Arsenal transfer super deal that is set to happen, and we think that it's going to be massive. We think it's going to be okay. It's going to be very, very nice for Arsenal. If Arsenal want to retain their first position, Arsenal has already secured Champions League football. It will be very difficult for other clubs to beat out Arsenal and take it out of Champions League football. I can confirm to you, I'm sure, that Champions League football for Arsenal is a done deal. And right about now, what Arsenal is looking at is maintaining the first position, and it is 5 points away. Arsenal is 5 points away from Manchester City. Manchester City is in the second position. Yeah, City is in the second position. And that definitely means there is going to be quite a bit of competition in there, with Manchester City being in the second position with 32 points, and then Arsenal being in the first position with 37 points, Newcastle with 30, Spurs with 29, United with 26 points, Liverpool with 22, and Brighton with 21, Chelsea with 21 points. Still, there's going to be quite a bit of competition in there for Arsenal. Arsenal is going to have quite a bit of competition, but again, that's a reason that gives Arsenal a big reason for the transfers to happen. The transfers, Arsenal must get the football players they think will be the best for the club in this January transfer window. And there are a lot of football players have been linked to Arsenal, and some of these Mohamed Kudus, who is a very wonderful football player, who is a Ghanaian football player, and he's played quite well before. And not forgetting yet other football players like Cody Gakpo, who was also linked to Arsenal, and I think negotiations are still underway. And of recent, the latest, also Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez was also linked to Arsenal, and I think he's going to be a better player. And also, not forgetting the one and only Joao Felix, who is also set to join Arsenal. If everything goes on quite well as planned, he will join Arsenal if the transfer is negotiated quite well. George Mendes had a meeting with the technical director of Arsenal, the current manager of current manager, and also the current manager of Arsenal, Mikel Arteta. George Mendes, who is the agent of Joao Felix, definitely had a crucial meeting about this gentleman's transfer, and we think he will definitely come in. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus to miss the rest of Brazil's World Cup due to an injury. That is what we have that is coming in right now. The latest is that Gabriel Jesus has got an injury, and he will not be able to he will not be able to play in the World Cup. He won't manage to play in the World Cup again. That is the latest that is coming in. The latest that is definitely coming in, and we think Brazil will be missing out. We think Brazil will definitely be missing out on that. Gabriel Jesus, who is a wonderful football player, very good football player, incredible player. So, um, yeah. He's been ruled out of the World Cup. So Brazil hit. Oh, let me let you know more about this. So Brazil hit with major injury blow as Arsenal star Gabriel Jesus ruled out of World Cup. He's been ruled out of World Cup. So Arsenal and Brazil striker Gabriel Jesus will miss out on the rest of the World Cup after injuring his knee. He had a knee injury. We thought it was something minor, but it has come out that it is a major injury. Jesus picked up an injury during the Brazil 1-0 defeat from Cameroon on Friday night, and he was taken off after just an hour. Yeah, just over an hour. That was over an hour. The striker is said to undergo further tests to confirm exactly how long he will be out for, but he will play no further part in Brazil's World Cup campaign. And that the big blow for Jesus, who had secured a place in the Brazil squad by excelling for Arsenal this season. The 25-year-old endured a difficult World Cup 4 years ago in Russia, failing to score a goal during the tournament. And he admitted the work of that he had been scared by what happened. Jesus has bounced back from that, so he has determined to help Brazil. He was determined to help Brazil in Qatar. And his World Cup is now over, though both he and Arsenal will be hoping the injury does not keep out for an extended period. Jesus had been complaining of discomfort in his knee during the defeat to Cameroon, and further scans will go at the bottom. So this is not quite good for us, though. That's not quite good for Arsenal, because definitely if Jesus gets injured, that is definitely not good, because Arsenal has been playing quite well of recent. Yeah, Arsenal has been playing quite well with Gabriel Jesus. And if Gabriel Jesus leaves the club, because of an injury, not he's not going to leave the club because of an injury, but he will not play for some time. It is already mentioned that he's not going to be playing for the World Cup, in the World Cup for Brazil because of the injury. But it will be remembered that the World Cup is just going to get done, and boom, we are in the Premier League, and that will cost Arsenal quite a lot. And Arsenal are hoping that the injury does not go further to the Premier League, not stop the injury will not stop him from playing in the Premier League. That will definitely be quite sad. That will be sad for him, and that could mean quite a lot, because he's the leading striker at Arsenal. Everybody knows that this gentleman is the leading striker at Arsenal. He is a wonderful football player, very good, very nice. And we think if he gets an injury, if he picks, has already picked on the injury. But if the injury goes on, we could see Arsenal struggling with the striking section, because the striking section, the attacking power. Is quite incredible at Arsenal. So if he gets an injury, that will mean quite a lot. That will definitely mean quite a lot. And that's why the likes of JOAO FELIX are definitely needed at the club. Arsenal is at a point where they have one senior striker, and that is none other than Gabriel Jesus, who has got an injury. Though if JOAO FELIX comes in and That means there are two major strikers, two big strikers, experienced strikers, and that could be quite good for the club. That could be a very good reason as to why Arsenal will be taking the Premier League, because they have good strikers and they are able to score as many goals as they want. So definitely that is quite good. Still, people still asking about Cristiano Ronaldo and his move to Arsenal. I want to tell you the fact is that this is definitely not going to happen. Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to Arsenal. Definitely, there is. I want to confirm to you, stop dreaming about Cristiano Ronaldo going to Arsenal. It is done. Cristiano Ronaldo has got okay, it's not yet fully done, but Cristiano Ronaldo is not coming to Arsenal. And there is a club in Saudi Arabia called Al Sahil that is more than interested in signing him, and he can go there. 37 years, there's nothing that he's going to bring to the club. Maybe if the club is looking at making a bit of money in merchandise, that's why they could bring him. But I don't think Mikel Arteta would risk it and bring Cristiano Ronaldo to Arsenal. That will definitely be out of the box. That will definitely not be okay. Otherwise, let us know what you think about in the comment section so that you do not miss out on anything that the JOAO FELIX Arsenal transfer super deal has for you. And that is what we had for the JOAO FELIX transfer deal. And we think everything is going to be okay. We think everything is going to be all right here at Arsenal. As the diehards, as we are dedicated to bringing to the latest here, as we think JOAO FELIX will definitely be joining Arsenal very soon if everything goes on quite well. The World Cup is definitely on, and everybody is more interested than knowing what is happening in the World Cup. We will be bringing to you the latest from our football players who are in the World Cup. And we already told you that Thomas Partey is out of the World Cup. Ghana was kicked out of the World Cup. They didn't manage to score, not even one goal. And that was quite sad. And they lost 2-0. And either way, they didn't win here. They didn't win at the stadium where they were. And neither did they win at the Portugal versus South Korea. It was all a mess up. Joao Cancelo, not Joao Cancelo, but Joao FELIX and him joining Arsenal. Joao FELIX and him joining Arsenal. And still talking about people were still asking me about Ben White. Ben White, definitely, he's not going to be playing. He's not in the World Cup anymore. He left the World Cup because of personal reasons that have not been disclosed to the media. And also, it will be remembered that Mohamed Kudus could be joining Arsenal also, as the January transfer window is set and now open. Let us wait and see who goes where and who remains at the club, and definitely who is the club buying. And we definitely think Arsenal is going to ship in a number of football players. And if you saw how this young lad plays, if you watched the game, this young lad, Mohamed Kudus, is a very good. He plays quite well. An excellent football player. So we are definitely going to be seeing quite a lot that is happening, but we definitely think all will be well with the JOAO FELIX Arsenal transfer super deal in the transfer window, in the January transfer window that is on the way, as things are definitely heating up. Things are becoming much better for Arsenal, and it will be great. It will be good news for Arsenal if they sign this gentleman. That will mean more goals are definitely going to be coming in. If Arsenal sign this gentleman, expect more goals, because this gentleman has scored quite a number of goals at Atletico Madrid, despite the fact that he had differences with Diego Simeone. JOAO FELIX managed to score goals. And when you look at his statistics, he definitely is a beast. He has been playing quite well. And even in the World Cup, he's already scored 1 goal in 2 appearances in 2 matches. And that is quite good of JOAO Felix. And again, looking much further at Atletico Madrid, despite the fact that he's been benched a number of times, he has managed to score 3 goals in 12 appearances and also managed to make 3 assists this season already. So that's not yet been complete. And again, looking at the season 2021 so 2022, he scored 8 goals in 24 appearances, and also he managed to make 4 assists, and that was great of him. And he is definitely the one for Arsenal. Arsenal will be quite grateful if they sign him. That will be good news for Arsenal in case Arsenal decide to sign this young lad, and that will be magic. That will be magic for Arsenal. Otherwise, Joao Felix to Arsenal deal is definitely on and kicking, as the Arsenal team definitely are more than Arsenal management are more than ready to buy him. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on anything. The latest Arsenal updates are right here at Arsenal Diehards. Do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification. As we tell you, thank you and goodbye for now.